In this video, we're going to create a dog object and actually make some use of it. So we're going to be working in the runner class for a little bit. And so our runner class, because it's in the same program as the dog class, knows about the dog class. So those two things can work together. So in runner, we're going to create a new instance of a dog object. Now to create an object, creating an object, you've already done this, or probably I think you have with respect to strings or with strings, and we maybe have done some other stuff at this point in the trimester with other objects, but I'll be explicit here. To create a new object, you state its type or its class. So this is going to be a dog object of the class that we created called dog, and let's just call this Fido. That's going to be the name of our object, and we're going to say equals new dog. Now we can create Fido in this manner, and Fido will have a particular name. We can also create a new one with our other constructor called Fido, or called Spot equals new dog. But this one we want to give it a name. So actually with Fido, poor Fido, we're going to change this to generic dog. And with Spot, we'll say its name is Spot. And Spot likes to make the sound grr. Spot is not a nice dog. So because we have two constructor methods in the dog class, one to make a generic dog and one to allow the user more kind of direct control over a couple of the parameters of the dog object, we can do that in the runner class. So in this case, we created a generic dog, and here we created a more specific dog named Spot, who actually has a name instead of just generic dog. And now, to use these animals, let's use the generic dog first of all. Let's get at the generic dog's name. So we want to say string generic or GD name equals, or let's just print it out. System.out.println generic dog.get name. Alright, so if we run the runner class now, the generic dog's name should print out. And what is the generic dog's name? Generic dog. And why is it that? Because we set it here. The name field, the long-term memory of this animal, of this class, stores currently generic dog because we have done nothing else to it. If we copy this line and we print out the name of Spot, spot.getName, what's going to print out? Spot's name is going to print out, so it's say generic dog and then Spot. Now we can change the generic dog's name, so generic dog dot set name, because we created the set name method. So let's give it a new name. Ferdinand. Is that how you spell Ferdinand? Alright, and now if we say generic dog system.out, let's just copy this line and put it down below, and we run our program. We can see that at first the dog's name was generic dog, and then we printed out Spot's name, but then we printed out Ferdinand after we changed it. So you can do that with sound too. So we can say system.out.println generic dog.get sound. And we can say generic dog's name, generic dog's sound plus generic dog.get sound. I think that should all work. And if we run this, the generic dog sound will print out after its name. Generic dog's name is Ferdinand. Generic dog sound woof. You can also obviously do the set name and set sound thing for either animal. So you notice that they don't have the same name because they're different instances of the object that have been created. Spot and the generic dog have different values stored in the field because they each have their own container name called name and sound. And that's enough for this video.